Krystal, what are you taking a look at?
Well, guys, once upon a time, student athletes at top colleges were treated more as indentured servants than as the remarkable competitors that they are. While their schools and TV networks all profited off their hard work and grueling schedules, the athletes themselves, they were denied any opportunity to share in the fruits of their labor. But then everything changed. In 2021, the Supreme Court unanimously ruled in favor of student athletes who were challenging limits on internships and other educational benefits that schools could use to lure them. And that decision opened the door for a whole lot more. As Justice Kavanaugh wrote at the time, traditions alone cannot justify the NCAA's decision to build a massive money-raising enterprise on the backs of student athletes who are not fairly compensated. Nowhere else in America can businesses get away with agreeing not to pay their workers a fair market rate on the theory that their product is defined by not paying their workers a fair market rate. The NCAA is not above the law. Now, the NCAA, seeing the writing on the wall, decided that rather than being forced into actually directly compensating student athletes, they would change their rules and they would allow athletes to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. So athletes could nab sponsorship deals, they could monetize their social media, thereby enabling at least some of them to earn real money off of their prowess, including athletes in sports that don't have a professional league waiting to pay them big bucks after their college career. And they all lived happily ever after, right? Well, not quite. Did you actually think capitalism was going to lead to some noble, perfect meritocracy? Come on, guys. This is America at the height of influencer culture, and sex sells a whole lot more than your actual athletic prowess. According to a new report from the Free Press, the top female in particular college athlete earners are not the top in the sport. They are the hottest girls with the savviest social media presence. The reporter dubs this dynamic the NCAA's hot girl problem. In particular, they highlight the Cavender twins, lean, blonde twin basketball players who transferred from Fresno State to University of Miami in order to be closer to the limelight. Just to become a Division I college athlete, let's be clear, it's a really impressive accomplishment. So I'm not trying to take anything away from these ladies' ability. But they're clearly not being paid for their basketball skills so much as their skill at frolicking in a bikini on a beach. After all, as the article points out, top women's basketball players average nearly 30 points per game. Now, Haley Cavender scored about 12 points per game. That's pretty impressive. Her last year at Miami. Hannah averaged about 4 points per game. Another top female earner, Olivia Dunn, is an excellent gymnast who has distinguished herself at Louisiana State on the uneven bars in particular. But it's not like she's Olympian caliber good at the sport. She is, however, Olympian caliber good at Instagram, where she posts exactly like your typical Instagram model and has racked up over 4 million followers. The branding incentives on the men's side are apparently a little bit different, seemingly a bit more related to actual athletic performance. But even here, ultimately, all comes down to your ability to brand. And for the guys, having a famous last name, that seems to be the ultimate trump card there. The top earners on the men's side are LeBron James's son, Bronny, and Peyton Manning's nephew, Arch. Of course, none of this should have been remotely surprising to anyone who actually thought it through. In fact, I remember years ago there was kind of a similar panic about the fact that tennis player Anna Kournikova was one of the best known and highest paid female athletes in the world. Even though her tennis ranking topped out at 8th in the world and she never actually won a singles title. But she was gorgeous and she was blonde and she knew how to work a camera, even though this was the pre-social media age. Now, a casual scroll through the list of top paid women's athletes today reveals a remarkably similar dynamic. Sponsorship deals aren't just about appearance, it's more about overall brand, but being hot certainly doesn't hurt. Just ask number 3 on the list, freestyle skier Eileen Gu, who is both an incredible Olympic gold medalist and also exceptionally beautiful. Number 1 on the list, actually in 2022, was tennis player Naomi Osaka, who has a look and a story that fashion mags fell all over themselves to feature. Brands ate it up completely. She's currently ranked in the 400s in tennis, but as of last year at least, she was at the absolute top in terms of female earnings. Now, I don't think any of these people, not the Cavender twins or Osaka or the cute gymnast girl Instagram model, I don't think they should feel bad about any of this. As they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. Twins, Haley and Hannah, they were asked about the fundamental unfairness of their fame and fortune as opposed to other superior, more impressive athletes, and they were appropriately apologetic about the system and about their privilege. Hannah told the Free Press, quote, "I mean, obviously, yes, this is a touchy subject, but I think that we are privileged in a way. Obviously, we don't deal with the same things that other women deal with or other people deal with, and that's just how our world is, and it's awful." They also expressed an awareness of how fleeting their Instagram model, cum sports star celebrity might actually be. After all, they just graduated and they are not headed to the WNBA. So an uncertain future in a fickle capitalist marketplace where relevance can die in an instant, that's already staring them right in the face. To me, though, the whole situation is pretty revealing. It shows the distance between what we tell ourselves we value, merit, hard work, excellence, and what we actually value. After all, these sponsors and these athletes, they're just responding to what the human beings who make up the market actually want. It also shows you the kind of twisted, supposed meritocracies are actually built, even in the best of cases, in the free market. On Wall Street, for example, we would theoretically, in an ideal world, want to reward stability, ethics, competence. Instead, cheaters and reckless risk-takers win the prize. In corporate America, we would want to reward innovation, concern for employees, but instead we reward the biggest ladder-climbing psychopaths who are best at rigging markets into monopolies. So don't be mad at these girls for getting their bag. Still better that at least some athletes can monetize their labor in some way. But let's not pretend this is anything approaching economic power for the vast majority of extraordinary student athletes. Sagar, as you know, Hey guys, if you like that video, go to breakingpoints.com, become a premium subscriber, and help us build the best independent media organization on the planet.
That's right. We're subscriber funded. We're building something new. We want to replace these failing mainstream media organizations.
So again, to subscribe, it's breakingpoints.com.